Murray State head coach Dean Hood, the Racers, coming off a shutout win, 35-0 over Mississippi Valley State to open the season last Thursday night. This week, they're going to go to nationally ranked top 10 FBS opponent Cincinnati on Saturday afternoon, ESPN Plus. So, Coach, if you just want to start off with some comments on your game and your team and last week's game, we'll go from there.
Yeah, just it's a real good first game for us. I thought our kids played really hard. It was we stayed relatively healthy, so that was good. Our guys were, they were ready to play. You get 29 days, get 25 practices in on an opponent, and you're ready to, hit somebody with a different color jersey. By the time you get to that, so our guys did a really good job. As far as first game, things that happen, undisciplined penalties, jumping off sides, substitution issues, that sort of thing. Those were minimal. So really proud of our guys and looking forward to, this humongous challenge that we have ahead of us on Saturday.
Thanks, Coach. Again, if anybody that's listening and participating has questions, you let me know down in the chat. Then I will call on you. I'll start the question as we wait for other people. A shutout is a shutout, no matter who you're playing, and that's something that this is your second year. Hadn't happened for the Racers for a while. It's been a decade since you shut out somebody and limiting the team. So obviously, a lot of things went right on defense. Can you just talk about that and maybe progression from year one to year two with your defense?
Yeah, there's no question. It's difficult to shut out somebody in college football. You got to be blessed with some breaks, with some way some things happen, and Coach Dancy had his team ready to play. And like I talked about, prior to the game, you play a SWAC team and they're going to be, very, very gifted, athletically, skill level. And there was, many times where you're holding your breath and you're like, oh, that thing's going to the house. And then one of our guys would, show up, which is a credit to our players, how hard they ran to the ball. And that's what keeps you from having big plays. You're going to miss tackles against good athletes, and but you got to have the second and third guy there, and our kids did that.
And then your quarterback, Preston Rice, he was the OVC Offensive Player of the Week, 4 rushing touchdowns, which tied a school record. So was that in the game plan for him to carry the ball more, or is that just sort of what happened?
Yeah, you just got to take what you've got structurally, and we're pretty good at the running back position. So on some of our zone read type stuff, they were crashing down on the running back, and Preston made, the right decision. And, really, he really took off right where he left off. And that's a blessing for us. And really excited for him, the progress he's making. He's even, further along. He's just done a great job with his command of the offense. And, like I said, taking off where he left off from a standpoint of making good decisions, at the quarterback position, as far as, get in trouble, run, get rid of the ball, look for your check down, those kind of things. He just did an unbelievable job.
And then speaking of taking what the defense gives you, 307 total rushing yards for your team. In addition to Preston there, Cortez Jones, who played one game last year in the spring, but he had 107 yards. So maybe a little bit about Cortez and just the rushing game in general then.
What everybody saw on Thursday night, that was there, and we had an unbelievable crowd. Just, really appreciate our crowd coming out, our students, our faculty and staff, our community. But, what those people saw is what we see every day in practice. That's what our defense deals with every single day. And, we've seen those flashes, just the way the season went last year. And because, he was a true freshman, really didn't get that opportunity and got that opportunity in game one. And like I said, he looked like in the game, like he looks like in practice.
And if anybody has a question for Coach Hood, let me know down in the chat. Just a little bit more on Cincinnati then, what you can say about them coming off there at 49-14 win against Miami, Ohio.
Well, first of all, they're legit top 10. This isn't a top 10. Let's get one of the, group of 5 schools in there just to look good. They're a legit top 10 team. And, they proved that last year. They proved that, in the bowl game against Georgia, losing on the last second field goal to a powerhouse SEC team. And then they proved that going against, a Mid-American Conference team in Miami, Ohio, the way they took care of business, right from start to finish. So, first thing is they're a legit team. They got a great quarterback. Not good, great. He gets it. He understands the game. He's got a command of the offense. He sees it, he gets the ball out there in space to the playmakers, and they got plenty of them. And then defensively, they're just very disruptive in the box, play tight coverage, everywhere, obviously with Coach Fickle, coach team, very fundamentally sound, play very tough and play hard.
And this is, this is the first of 2 FBS opponents for your team before you have the open day on September 25th. So just in general, playing, what's it like to play 2 back-to-back FBS opponents?
I don't know. I'd have to think back and think, if we've done it. I guess we probably have. I probably did sometime at EKU, but you don't prepare any different. I mean, it really doesn't matter, who you're playing. If you're playing an AI school, you're playing a, group of 5, you're playing a power 5, you're, you're playing a 1AA, an FCS level team. I mean, the preparation's the same. You got your 5 days and they're an opponent, and you look how they line up structurally and, match your guys up, based off personnel and all those kind of things, and go out and practice and play the game. I mean, it's the same approach regardless of who you're playing.
I want John, saw you had in the chat. You can unmute yourself and ask that question if you want to, or I can ask it for you. But John, if you want to go ahead.
Thing is John Wright from the Murray Leisure Times. When you go against a D1 team like this, what's the biggest challenge? Is it the speed or the size of the team?
Well, both of those. Obviously, you're playing an FBS opponent. They've recruited, very good athletes, with size and with speed. The other issue when you're playing an FBS opponent is depth. They're, when you've got 85 scholarships versus 63, your depth and the guys, that are in the bottom half, of the roster, that are doing amazing things for your team on special teams and on getting in there and getting 15, 20 reps a game to get, your ones a break. Those guys, it's a little different, far as like I said, far as the pure numbers of the situation with the scholarship cap.
You have a follow-up, John?
I sure do. You're playing a top 10 team. That's a dream for a college football player, is it not?
Yeah, I mean, our kids are excited. You don't have to, there's no concern. Usually as a head coach, you kind of want to get a pulse of your team, where you are, who you're playing, make sure the mindset is right. Because every single week you got to show up and play, or you get a piece of humble pie. So, you're always gauging that as a head coach. When you're playing one of these games, you still do the same things that you do, but as far as the mental aspect, that's not a concern, is to get your guys mentally, ready to play. They're excited. They know that Cincinnati's a legit top 10 team, and, that's a big challenge. I mean, you always want to, kind of gauge yourself by playing the best that you possibly can. And this is going to be one of those moments for our players and our coaches.
Anybody else? We have time for at least one more question. All right, Coach. Appreciate your time this morning. Best of luck on Saturday. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Okay, thanks.